It was just another ordinary Monday for Sam. He was back at his desk in the small, windowless tech support office. The fluorescent lights buzzed above, casting a cold, artificial glow across the room. Sam had been doing this job for over 3 years now. It was monotonous work, troubleshooting Wi-Fi problems, resetting passwords, and fixing slow laptops. His fingers moved automatically over the keyboard, clicking through instructions he had memorized long ago. "Wi-Fi not working again?" Sam muttered under his breath as he took a call. He could hear the frustration in the customer's voice on the other end. The laptop they were calling about was an old, battered machine, likely too cheap to bother with. Sam sighed inwardly. It was going to be another one of those long calls. The laptop's screen flashed to life as Sam entered the remote desktop. The screen was covered in scratches, and the keyboard was worn down, with a few keys barely functioning. He clicked through the prompts on the laptop, his hands moving with practiced precision. As the cursor hovered over the Wi-Fi settings, something caught his eye. There, in the list of available networks, was one that didn't belong. Network 99. It was unprotected, unlike the others that required passwords. Sam's heart skipped a beat for a moment, but he quickly dismissed the thought. It was probably some kind of unsecured hotspot from a neighbor or something. Nothing unusual. He clicked the network anyway. Why not? It was probably harmless. The moment he connected, a strange feeling washed over him. It was hard to explain, but something didn't feel right. Maybe it was the hum of the office, or the dull headache he'd been fighting all day. But the unease lingered. The connection was established instantly, but the laptop didn't behave as expected. The screen flickered for a split second, and a series of strange, foreign-looking characters flashed across the screen. Sam frowned. He clicked around, trying to close out the window, but the program wasn't responding. The mouse cursor froze. He tried again. Nothing. "Great, must be a glitch," he muttered, clicking the X in the corner of the window. Still, the strange characters didn't disappear. If anything, they intensified, shifting from a jumble of code into what looked like an encrypted message. His eyes narrowed. That was definitely odd. His fingers hovered over the keyboard, but the keys felt unresponsive. There was a knock at the door. Sam turned his head. It was his manager, Mark, walking by with a distracted wave. "Everything all right?" Mark asked, his voice distant. "Yeah, I'm fine," Sam replied. "Just this weird glitch. I think I can fix it." He gave a half-hearted smile. The door clicked shut behind Mark, and Sam turned his attention back to the screen. As he did, a new message popped up. "Do you accept?" Sam's brow furrowed. Accept what? It wasn't a typical software prompt. He leaned in closer. The language seemed distorted, with random letters and symbols that made no sense. Was this some kind of virus? He clicked no instinctively, but the message remained. He clicked yes out of curiosity, then quickly regretted it. The screen shifted. A blinding white flash filled the screen, followed by an image that froze him in place. The program on the screen was unlike anything Sam had ever encountered. It wasn't a pop-up or an error message or even a virus. It felt alive. Strange symbols filled the screen, twisting and turning. Some of them resembled a language he couldn't understand, while others were disjointed fragments of words, as if the letters were in the process of being scrambled, intentionally deformed. Before he could react, an image appeared, the face of a person, distorted beyond recognition. Eyes wide open, mouth twisted into an inhuman grin, and skin stretched unnaturally. Sam recoiled, his heart racing in his chest. The face seemed almost to mock him. its gaping mouth silently screaming at him. "Jesus," Sam muttered, reaching for the mouse to close the window. But his hand froze in midair. The mouse pointer was now a black, jagged symbol, not a regular arrow. It hovered above the OK button on the screen, as if daring him to click. He forced himself to take a deep breath and clicked it. The screen flickered again, and the image of the grotesque face vanished, replaced by rows of text in an unfamiliar script. "We need more." The text lingered for a moment before disappearing, only for the words to reappear, written out one letter at a time. "We need more. For you." Sam's pulse raced as panic began to crawl up his spine. The laptop felt heavier, the air around him felt thick. He tried to close the window again, but his mouse wouldn't respond. The keyboard failed to react, as if the laptop was completely in control now, mocking his efforts to regain it. His phone buzzed, snapping him out of his trance. It was a text from his girlfriend, Clara. "Hey, are you done for the day? It's getting late." He looked back at the screen. The symbols had returned, flickering erratically, and Sam felt the sinking sensation that something much worse than a virus was happening. The feeling of being watched grew stronger, more suffocating. Suddenly, the webcam light on the laptop turned on. Sam froze. His gaze locked onto the small green light beside the webcam, now glowing ominously. He blinked. Was the camera on? His skin prickled as he felt eyes on him, but no one else was in the room. He glanced around the office, but it was empty. Just him and the humming laptop. His chest tightened. He reached up to cover the lens, but before he could touch it, the screen blinked again, this time displaying a live image of himself, a distorted reflection from the webcam. The image on the screen was off. The room behind him seemed darker, more sinister, and his own face looked strangely distorted, like he had been staring into a mirror for too long. His stomach churned. His reflection grinned back at him, an unsettling wide grin that was not his own. The smile was cruel, mocking. "Okay, this isn't funny anymore," Sam said out loud to no one, standing up quickly and pushing the laptop away from him. His fingers trembled as he backed away. The screen flickered again. This time, a new message appeared. "You can't escape us. We are already inside." The words sent a chill down his spine. Sam backed out of the chair, his mind racing. Who, what, was controlling the laptop? What had he connected to? And why was it targeting him? The increasing aggression of the program. As Sam backed up further, the laptop began to pulse with a strange, rhythmic glow. The symbols on the screen changed once more, shifting from cryptic, indecipherable code to clear, terrifying words. "You are ours now." Sam's breath hitched. Panic surged through him as he tried once more to restart the laptop. He held the power button down, hoping it would turn off. But the screen didn't go dark. Instead, it began displaying horrific images, bloody faces, scenes of terror, and cryptic messages that danced across the screen like flashes of lightning. He turned to unplug the device from the power socket, but as soon as the power cord was removed, the images on the screen remained, unwavering. The laptop seemed to run on some unseen energy, as if it had taken on a life of its own. His heart pounded in his chest as he desperately tried to close the program. By pressing multiple keys, his hands shook uncontrollably. Nothing worked. A voice came from the laptop speakers. It was distorted and mechanical, like an automated system struggling to speak. "We need more of you." Sam's head spun. His hands gripped the desk, struggling to steady himself. Was this some kind of sick joke? A virus, maybe? or something worse. He felt like he was losing control of reality itself. The computer had crossed some line that wasn't supposed to exist in the realm of technology. The laptop screen pulsed again, showing grotesque, jumbled images of people, their faces contorted in screams of agony. He could feel his heart racing in his chest as his mind struggled to comprehend what was happening. Was this real? Was he losing his mind? Sam finally snapped. He couldn't take it anymore. With trembling hands, he grabbed the laptop and hurled it across the room, hoping the force of impact would stop it. The laptop hit the wall with a sickening thud, but when Sam turned back, it was as if nothing had happened. The screen was still on, flickering, and the words appeared again. "We need more." This time, the text flashed in bold, haunting letters. "You are the key." Sam staggered backward. The air felt thick and suffocating, as if the walls themselves were closing in. His head swam, the dizziness consuming him, and as he stared at the words on the screen, he realized the truth. There was no escaping. Whatever this program was, it had already taken root, and there was no way out. Sam tried to escape. He ran out of the office and onto the street, the cold air biting at his skin. He kept looking over his shoulder, half expecting someone or something to be following him, but the streets were empty. Still, the terror clung to him like a shadow. That night, as he lay in bed, unable to sleep, the fear didn't leave. His mind kept replaying the events of the day. The images on the laptop, the distorted messages, the strange presence that seemed to reach out and touch him. Sam felt watched. The terror followed him home, into his apartment, into his thoughts. His reflection in the bathroom mirror seemed wrong, twisted. The boundaries between the virtual and real world had blurred, and he couldn't escape the feeling that the program was still watching. In the quiet of his apartment, the silence was deafening. Sam closed his eyes, but the images kept coming. Flashes of the grotesque faces, the cryptic symbols. The words echoed in his mind. "We need more." And he knew, deep down, that the program was never truly gone. It had invaded his thoughts, taken root in his mind. There was no escaping it now.